Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Polly from Northern Soul TV and I'm here to deliver you little short kundalini practices. Okay, so if this is something you enjoy or something you want to know more of, just hit subscribe and subscribe to the channel and you'll get all the updates for any new videos that come up in this channel. So today we're working with a fabulous kundalini set, which is basically working with removing emotional and energetic blocks from the body. So just a little bit about the practice before we get going. We're working with quite a strong pranayama, so a strong breath work technique throughout this practice. And the breath that we're working with, it's an O-shaped breath with the mouth, and it's what we would call breath of fire. So it's a short, sharp, sort of quite vigorous breath, usually coming in and out of the nose, but today it's going to come in and out of the mouth. So it's like this O mouth. It looks a little bit like this. And you see my belly's just sort of naturally moving with the breath. Okay, it's a very powerful breath that we're working with, and we're going to work with a series of 4 different exercises in this class. And I want you to take it easy if you are, for example, very anxious person, so if you've got severe anxiety, or if you've got depression, and also if you're pregnant, please do consult with your healthcare practitioner before you do any of these exercises. But for everybody else, we're working with this fast breath. If you have severe anxiety or depression, I would advise that you maybe didn't do this practice, or I'm going to give you a little bit of an alternative, which is a softer version of what we're doing. Okay, so stick with that one. Lovely. So before we actually start, I'm going to explain what we're doing. So we've got in the centre of the body this sort of like area of massive amounts of storage. Let's think about it as the wardrobe, or my wardrobe, where I just hoard things for years. And we've got the spine, so the core of the body, the spine, the physical spine, that starts to store all of this sort of stagnation and tension. We've also got the central nervous system, so all of these little nerves moving off the spinal area. And we've also got the Sushumna Nadi, so the centre energy channel of the body. So lots of sort of energetic blockages can also start to store in this central part of the body. So we've got lots of stuff going on there, physically, emotionally, energetically. And sometimes it's nice to just clear out that baggage. Okay, and in Kundalini Yoga, before we start to work with some of the sort of higher energy centres, let's say above the heart and upwards, what we do is we like to clear out some of the lower energy centres so that we're not sort of trapped and tense and holding on to old stuff that just no longer serves us. Okay, so this is actually a really nice practice to do, you know, maybe once a week. It's quite good to do it repetitively. So once a week you might do this practice to help some of that clearing. And the breath work also helps to just clear space. Okay, so it's a powerful breath. And like I say, just take it as it comes. So if something doesn't feel right for you, you can just slow down, or you can speed it up a little bit if you're a little bit more practiced in Kundalini Yoga. Okay, and all we're going to do each exercise today for is we're going to work with round about 2 minutes on each exercise, okay? And each exercise that we work with, if you can try and sort of think about a moving meditation. Okay, so the mind wants to chatter, doesn't it, all day long, but let's think about during this practice, can we focus our awareness on the breath, maybe the little mudra, so the little hand gesture that we're doing, or the exercise that we're doing. So we've got all of these little components. We might even have a gaze point involved. And part of the practice of Kundalini Yoga is these vigorous and unusual focused things that stop our mind from being overstimulated, and sort of gives us a little bit of stillness and peace. Okay, so like I say, if you suffer from severe anxiety or depression or are pregnant, I'm going to give you an alternative version, okay? So this is not necessarily recommended as a practice, but I will give you a little bit of a softer practice. Okay, so all the while whilst we're in these poses, I want you to think about sort of rising that energy up. So in Kundalini Yoga, we're sort of working towards generating this vertical, uplifting energy. And so if we sometimes feel a little bit horizontal, flat, and a little bit stagnant, you probably know what I mean when I say these words. What Kundalini Yoga does, it gives you that nice uplifted vertical energy, raises the energy up and makes us feel clear, calm and equanimous in the head. Okay, I could talk forever, but let's get going. We will tune in with the Ani mantra. So firstly, sit comfortably. You might even do this on a chair. If you don't want to sit down on the floor, please don't force yourself to the floor. It really doesn't matter where you're sitting as long as you're comfortable, okay? If you are sitting on the floor, you might sit on a cushion, you might sit directly to the mat or whatever you're on. But let's think about this nice tall spine. So we're slightly lifting the heart space away from the pubic bone. So we've got this lovely open space down the front of the body. Slightly tuck the chin, just slightly tuck the chin back, so we've got like almost like a chin lock, but not too much, so we've got a nice long spine as well. Really thinking about opening, broadening and lengthening through that full sort of Sushumna, central spinal cord. Lovely, guys. Close your eyes down, bring the palms to touch at the centre of the heart space, and we're going to tune in with the Ani mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Honour the teacher within, so always being your own inner guide throughout your practice. Let's go, everybody. Okay, take a big deep inhale through the nose. And open the eyes up. Wonderful. Okay, let's start our practice. First position we're working with, so we've got interlaced hands, palms face down and elbows are out from the side like this. So our forearms are like parallel to the floor. Okay, we're working from the heart space to the third eye. Okay, so centre of the eyebrows and slightly up, heart space, third eye. So it's this movement. Yeah, and as we inhale, we're mentally chanting Sat. And as we exhale, we're mentally chanting Nam. Okay? Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. But it's going to get a little confusing because, so the Sat Nam is mentally chanted, but we're working with this O breath. Okay? Every single exercise we're working with is this. See, it's quite a fast breath. And this goes in sync with the movement. So it looks a little bit like this. Yeah, inhale up, exhale down, inhale third eye space, exhale back to heart space. And we're going to do that for around about 2 minutes, okay? Okay guys, so remember if you have got that depression or like severe anxiety or you're pregnant, instead we're going to do this. Just inhaling normally, up, exhaling, inhale, exhale. So it's very calming. We're not doing anything vigorous in that respect, okay? Let's go. So just choose your option. Close your eyes down, find that nice little gesture with the hands. Take a long spine and let's go. Okay, O-shaped mouth. Lovely work, everybody. Keep going. If the breath or the mouth gets a little bit dry, you can just lick it. Keep the movement and carry on. Halfway, keep going. If you need to go a little slower, just work with your own intuition, your own inner body guide. Last few rounds, stay focused, eyes are closed. And release. Release the hands to the knees. Keep the eyes closed down. Soften the arms, relax them. Take some nice natural breaths all the way into the belly, all the way up into the heart space. Lovely. So this very strong, powerful breath that we're working with, it's sort of like oxygenating the body quite a little bit more. So you might feel some bodily sensations like pins and needles, for example, some jitteriness. This is quite normal, but if you don't like it, you can just open the eyes and breathe and maybe slow the breath down a little bit. You don't have to do that fast breath if you're new to the practice. Okay, just be kind to yourself. So nice big breaths. Wonderful work, everybody. Feeling that stillness after each little exercise that we do. And let's open our eyes. Okay, next pose, we're going to interlace our hands in Venus lock, but point the thumbs so that the tips of the thumbs sort of press onto the inner index fingers. Both inner thumbs are together, nice and straight. Now, we're doing the same breath, but it's not in sync with the movement this time. So it looks like this with the arms. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like a chopping action. I always feel like I'm chopping some wood with this. Okay, but the breath is not, it's this instead. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing. It's quite powerful. Again, be mindful of your own body. And this might just come with time. Let's go for it. 2 minutes, okay? So just try your best and try and stay focused. So stay inward. Inward thinking. All we're trying to work with here is the body, the movement, and the pranayama, the breath technique. Eyes are closed, everybody. Find your hand position. Make that O-shaped mouth. And let's go, okay? Couple of minutes here. If the palate gets very dry, just lick and come back to it. Lovely, keep going, last couple of rounds, nice powerful breath and movement, really starting to shift some of that stagnation. And release, hands to the knees, eyes are closed down, relax the body. Come back to a natural breath, notice that sort of feeling of peace that sort of moves over the body, maybe into the head, into the mind, after each little practice that we do. Allow the breath to fill up, belly all the way up into heart space, just sending that body into that nice wave, rhythmic movement as you lift with the breath and relax with the breath. And then you can open your eyes again. Wonderful. Okay, so if this breath is really oxygenating the brain and the body and it's a little bit too much, just slow it down, okay? Just be kind. Fab. Next posture we're going to be working with, okay, is funny old one. So I call this chicken wings. We're going to take our fists. I like to take the thumb down into the fingertips and take our fists sort of underneath the armpits, bending the elbows. This time we've got the O-shaped mouth, but it is in sync. So the movement and the breath is in sync. So we're inhaling, lifting the elbows up, and exhaling, bringing them back down again. Again, we've got this sort of like mental chant, sat, up, nam, down, sat, nam, sat, nam. But this is mental, so we're also focusing on the breath. Lots to focus on. Now we do store a lot of sort of baggage into the armpit area, into sort of the lungs. So this is very, very nice as well for clearing out the lungs and the heart space. So any blockages that we have around this area. Okay? It's active, it's physical, so it's also really quite rejuvenating for the body. So let's bring our positioning in with the hands. I know it looks funny, but don't worry about that. And it's going to look like this. Okay? Close the eyes down, just try your best. And let's get started. Okay, 2 minutes. Keep going, everybody, stay focused. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hands to the knees. Close the eyes down and breathe naturally. Feel the effects of the posture. You might feel a stilling of the mind, a release of tension in the body, this sort of oxygenation of the body and the brain, that sort of tingly sensation that might move around the full body. Breathing naturally, finding a little bit of stillness here. And open your eyes. Yay! Okay, last little exercise we're going to do. We're going to cross sort of our hands, one on top of the other, palms facing in, onto the heart space here. Again, if you've got this depression or severe anxiety or pregnancy, we're just going to do a really slow twist. Inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other side, so nothing vigorous, okay? If we are feeling okay, we can work with that powerful breath again, so O-shaped breath. And again, we're going to do that sort of not in sync with the movement sort of breath. It looks a bit like this. It can be challenging, okay? 2 minutes, let's go. Close your eyes down, bring one hand over the top of the other into that heart space. Twisting from side to side with O-shaped, vigorous breath, not in sync with the movement. Let's go. And release. Hands to the knees, close the eyes down, nice tall spine. Find your natural rhythm of breath. Bring the awareness towards any different bodily sensations, shifts of energy, mindfulness towards feelings. It's very clear in practice. Hopefully feel a little bit more spacious. Lovely, everybody. Okay, let's tune out. We're going to tune out with one long Sat Nam. If you're new to Kundalini Yoga, then Sat Nam, truth is my identity, or I like to think always be authentic. So always coming back to what feels true to you, which is the most important thing. Okay, so bringing the palms to touch, you might close the eyes down now, and let's tune out with one long Sat Nam. So big inhalation through the nose. Sat Nam. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your practice today. Yeah, so if you want more of these, subscribe and you'll get notified when I put up another video. So I upload videos once a week. Stay tuned, guys. Ciao.